Shout out Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
Hey, y'all. It's me, Tamara. Welcome to the show. Man, why do I feel like I don't even know how to start my show today?
This is literally every time I hit record, I'd be like, hey guys.
Yeah, well, if you're new, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. New episodes generally drop every Thursday. This is a bonus series that I'm going to be doing, though, and we'll get more into that in a second. If you're a regular supporter, I appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to listen, to continue to come back. If you're not, you should totally be following me on social media because that's how you can stay up on all the things that I'm going to have going on and all the things that I'm going to be doing. I can't talk. I can't start my show. I just can't do nothing. Just can't get right.
Can't get right.
Right. So the link to my Twitter, Instagram, and the TikTok, and I have been uploading more videos on TikTok, and I'm not talking about my business videos. I've been like creating more content, whatever. But the links to all that is in the episode notes. I follow back. I interact with people. And let's see what else. Who knows? I have a live show coming up next month to celebrate my 2-year anniversary. That'll be on November 12th. It's a spoken word night with Penrose and Lindsay. If you missed the karaoke battle, man, you missed a great night. But the link to that is in the episode notes. Last week was a busy week, and if you missed the candy corn debate, basically with Penrose to celebrate my 100th episode that dropped on Thursday, the link to that will be in the episode notes as well, so you can see what my number one least favorite candy was,
and you may be surprised.
Yes, and you may be surprised at Penrose's number one favorite candy. You know what I'm saying?
You really may be.
Yeah.
I wanted to comment so much more that night, but I was like cooking. But we had you on on the TV, so I was just like yelling shit out. But like I don't think they was typing it. But that was a very interesting debate. I don't really love the slander that y'all put on Charleston shoes. Like, why were y'all like? I don't know why I like them. I just think they're really delicious, and I don't know if I got a chance to say that on air. So
I've never had them, so I was pretty quiet on that part because, like,
it's just like marshmallow and then like chocolate or like a thin chocolate around it. Like it's very like basic and like it just pops so hard. Like when you were like studying for like tests in college and like it was in the freezer all night. Like it just really did what it needed to do.
Oh, I do remember you talking about that with the freezer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because then somebody said that I was like I was like taking it apart and putting it in the freezer. Yeah. Like no, just the whole thing. Like, because what am I, a psychopath? Anyway, speaking of psychopath.
Okay, yeah. So if you're a regular listener, as I've been saying, I'm going to start getting into adding different types of content that it's ideas that I've probably had all along, maybe, but I didn't have time to do it before when I was also working a full-time job. But now that my full-time life is creating content and building my company, I have a lot more time for y'all to see like the more creative side of my mind and just I'm adding different series. And so the first series that I am adding is the Youuuu breakdown. So Youuuu is a series on Netflix. It is season 3. We're going to each give you a recap of season 1. Khris will do that. Oh, let me introduce my guest. I mean, you know, like So if you don't recognize that voice, because if you're a regular listener and you watch Podcast Happy Hour, then you should already know who that was. But I do have a guest that I'm going to be breaking this down with, which is Khris. So welcome again. This is now, I don't know how many times.
Are you counting at this point? Like,
well, no, but I know you're about to beat Baylor by the time we fit, because he's like my most consistent guest.
Yeah.
But because we're doing weekly recaps of each episode of Youuuu.
So basically what you're saying is I'm getting my vindication tonight. Or by the end of this series.
Yeah.
So I would have beat him at something.
I guess so.
This is great. I love this.
Oh, that's so funny. I guess so. Sure. Yeah. So everybody welcome Khris. One day I'll have applause for moments like this. So glad you watched this show. And Khris does All Ducked Up, and her and Penrose and BJ, shout out to them. They do documentary breakdown. So once I decided that I wanted to do this show and I found out she watches it, I'm like, oh, I gotta have her do it, because she's really made me step my game up on how we're gonna break down the episode, because they go way more in depth than I usually did on the Power episodes. But because of all the relational dynamics that happen in this show, it's definitely a show that I want to break down a little bit further, because it's like she said earlier, speaking of psychos. So
yeah,
I will let you start by go ahead with the season 1 recap.
Okay, guys, I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to condense it and just give you like the boom, bam, pows of it, okay? All right, so Youuuu, it's about a guy. His name is Joe Goldberg. He is a bookstore manager. Now you're like, what the fuck is that? Like, basically, he just like old ass books and shit. He would just like rebind them and stuff like that. Something very tedious. Something that takes like a lot of like concentration. I think that you'll learn that he concentrates on a lot of things way too fucking hard.
Right.
Anyway, so
great segue.
Thank you. Okay, so because he's in a bookstore, of course, he meets an aspiring writer, right? Her name is Guinevere Beck, but we're going to call her Beck from now on because we're her friends and that's what we do. Okay, so he sees her. And guys, I want to be very clear. When I say that Joe meets people, that doesn't mean he like goes up and go, hey, I'm Joe. Nice to meet you. And then she was like, hey, I'm Beck. Like, what's
Not
up?
at all.
Like, what I mean when I say that he meets somebody is literally he is in the same room as them, the same 5 mile perimeter of somebody. He looks at them, he's fixated on them, and now he needs to know everything. So when Beck was literally just fucking looking for a fucking book. Like he spent like almost no time around her, and he was obsessed. So obsessed that he went to an internet search. He starts looking up all of her like background, who she be kicking it with, like what she be doing. He figured out where she lived. He followed her to the subway on her way home. She fell on the tracks. He saved her. So then that's how he first initially met her. Is he's just a regular stranger guy who helped her on the train. But was he a stranger guy? Of course he wasn't, because he knew she was going to be there. He finds that he gets inside of her house. I'm basically just giving you like the very first episode, but it'll get better. So, because there's a lot of stuff that happens that's super important. Okay, so Joe goes into Beck's house. He fucking does some weird shit to her phone, or he steals her phone. No, he steals her phone when he saves her on the fucking train. And so then he like synchronizes it, and like basically forever and a day, from this day forward, he can read all of her text messages. He is in the group chats. He is in the secure folders. He's everywhere in that girl's phone. So while looking on the internet and being on her phone, he finds out that she got a man. His name is Benji. Gotta get rid of him. Okay, so Joe. Okay, so remember I told you he like is a bookstore manager, and in the basement, he has a fucking, what is this? Is it a glass like observation tank? I don't really know. It's like plexiglass. It's got some air holes in it so you can breathe. It's a
cage. It's definitely a glass cage.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. I didn't want to say cage, but like I think it's a cage.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, got a plexiglass cage, throws Benji in it because Benji, you're in my way. This is my bitch. I can't have you out here just breathing and shit. Okay, so Benji is basically trying to get out, blah, blah, blah. We also meet Beck, Beck's best friend, Peach, right? She's like this, like, super snobby, like, super rich girl. She's like, basically, I think, before we even find out, she's kind of obsessed with Beck, whatever. Okay, so Benji's locked up. We meet Peach. Moving on. Oh, no. Joe is basically like, I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He fucking kills him at the end. Benji's out of the picture. Now that the boyfriend's gone, now Joe can have Beck. Right? Wrong. Okay, so Joe, let's see. Joe and Peach don't like each other. Like, Peach is like very like, don't mess with my girl. We find out because Joe cannot. Okay. When Joe wants you, okay, it's very important that he will do any and everything to get you. He will get rid of boyfriends. He will get rid of friends. He will get rid of dogs. He will get rid of anybody that he has to get closer to you. So when you have your hating ass friend that's blocking Joe, he has a real problem with that, and now he has to break into your house. So
facts.
So Joe finds out that Peach is hella like literally obsessed with Beck, like mad, like candid, like pictures, like the small of her back, just like weird shit. Her sleeping, crazy shit. So Peach is over here trying to get Joe out, but Joe's like, but bitch, what's all of this? And then like he fucking like presents all this shit to her or whatever, and she's like freaking out because she don't want Beck to find out. Beck and Joe have sex the first time. He doesn't end up well. He fucking comes way too fast. And remember how I told you he got access to her phone? She told all of her friends. So all her friends, he's losing his shit. So he's fucking, that's happening. He's got to get rid of Peach. Then he gets some text messages where Beck is talking to a nigga named the Captain. He's like, oh, this is another fucking person. I'm not even done getting rid of Peach yet, and I got to get rid of this other nigga. Because obviously, this is an older man. He's obviously a sugar daddy. Obviously, he is in the way now, so I got to get rid of him. So now he is following her out of state, out of the city limits to another place at like a fucking like Renaissance fair or something. Turns out, luckily, thank God for everybody in the story, the Captain is just her dad, and so he doesn't have to kill him.
Right.
But because he's doing so much and like moving out of his like normal like situation, he literally has to like reveal himself to Beck because you literally can't just be over here and not give me a reason why you over here. So now Beck and him are like having like these little like intimate conversations, and now he came fast and shit, so he was nervous about that, but then they got over that, and so cool. Am I giving too much detail? I feel like I'm okay.
No, you're good. This is good.
Okay, so we're like halfway through the season now, y'all. So blah blah blah. Okay. Where am I at? Oh, okay. So Peach is super like, okay, I obviously can't get rid of this nigga Joe. I gotta do something. So they're all at Peach's house, and what does she do? Act like she's about to kill herself, right? Or like or something like that. Like she took some pills or something like that.
Yeah.
And so now, right when Joe is about to fucking take fucking Beck to Smithereen and Smash Town, now he gotta stop. Because now Peach is about to fake die and shit. He's like, I'm sick of your shit, bitch. So he fucking told Beck, like, look, this bitch is hella obsessed with you. Like, I know you ain't gonna believe me, but she's hella obsessed. And Beck was like, listen, my friend tried to kill herself. Like, I need to be by her side. Whatever, like that. Cool, bye. Okay, so also, little side note, there's like a little like side story where like you see that like, I think that the point of the side story with the little Hispanic boy and the mom that was being abused was just basically to show that like Joe has some like compassion. Yeah. Like he's not just a fucking psychopath. Like he also like true, like it's almost like, because when you really bust it down, like, okay, yeah, he killed mad people, but like he was doing it for like a reason, he thought. And I feel like the little side story kind of like not humanizes the other stuff that he's doing, but it's like, well, I see where you're going, but that's an extreme like side of it. Like
it kind of shows that he only does it because if he feels like he's protecting whoever, It just
exactly.
like emphasizes that point that he's not just, oh man, this man looked at me sideways, I'm gonna kill him. He don't beyond that. It's like she said, if he's obsessed with you, because that's what it is, and he sees that your friends or your relationship or your whatever is toxic
or
then
holding you back from being your best self, you gotta get rid of that shit for you.
He's gonna kill them because they're holding you back.
So, speaking of people holding people back, so now Peach, she's like, oh, I feel so much better. I don't want to kill myself. And then like she's like, hey, Beck, you should come to my family's house because she's rich as a bitch and it's fucking insane. So they go there, they go to her house, and this is so fucking fancy and shit. And then like Peach wants to fucking have a threesome with like Beck and like this other nigga that she brought over there. And Beck was like, bitch, I don't like you. I'm hella talking to Joe, and Joe told me about you. And so then like, and so I think they did like drugs or some shit, but she still was like, no.
Yeah.
Okay. So then she leaves immediately, and what does she do? She messages Joe. Mind you, Joe was probably already waiting on it. Okay. Okay. So remember how I told you how he loved leaving out of city limits to make sure that everything is happening the way it is? So while she's at her Peach's family's house, he's there too. You just no one knows he's there. He's literally slithering and sliding and ducking and hiding everywhere. So much so that he has to pee. So he pisses in a jar and then leaves it.
Yep.
Dummy. That was probably one of the first mistakes that he made.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So before Joe leaves the house, Peach catches him, and they have like a scuffle with the gun. Peach ends up dead, and then a suicide note is written because she had just tried to kill herself. Remember? So this works perfectly. Boom. Peach is dead. Okay. Where are we? Also, it's very important. Again, remember he has access to her phone. Beck is low-key still fucking other dudes to like try to like get over like the boyfriend that just disappeared, right? And the way that I think Joe said it was like he just like left, like he didn't have time for her no more. He just basically like dismissed her. So she's like fucking other niggas to try to like soothe this pain, and Joe is losing his shit. Okay, so let's see. I think Beck has a therapist, and then Joe starts to go see the therapist, and he starts talking about a fake relationship with somebody else, but really he's talking about Beck the whole time. And then you also see how well his relationship is going after Peach is dead. So like he's like very happy about that, and he's like talking about it, but now it's kind of like changing again. So this episode, we're almost at the end of the season, but this is an interesting episode because this is like one of the first times where Joe is really like, I mean, you see like his like, he's like, he gets like little moments where he's upset and stuff, but the episodes where he's with the therapist, he's really busting down like the things that he is like really struggling with without explaining why he's struggling with, because he just want to like kill everybody and like push everybody in front of trains and shit, but he can't do that. So this is, I think that like when you talk about like the psychological part of this show, I think that episode 7 is definitely one that you guys want to watch. It is very, very interesting. Nothing super crazy happens there, except I think that he finds out that Beck is sleeping with other people, like for sure, besides like the text messages. Okay. So Joe and Beck break up. Okay. He is now dating another girl. Remember Beck being an aspiring writer because, and I'm going to say it, I'm going to go ahead and say it, because of the things that Joe did for her, she had the time, the space, and the opportunity to write her book. She gets a book deal. Everything is going amazing. She starts to like miss him, I guess. She starts texting him after they ran into each other like at lunch or some shit, just randomly. And so then she starts texting him and blah, blah. Remember, they're both still seeing the same therapist. Which is crazy. Joe and Beck end up like reconnecting. And then they have sex. And then Joe breaks up with his girlfriend. And I feel like that's pretty basically it. They said they were gonna get back together, and then Karen, after she got broken up with, did she like say something about Joe's past? I think this is when we like start to find out about Candace.
Yep, that she kept, because he used to say her name in his sleep or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a girl named Candace. She is a girl that he was dating well before any of this stuff happened. And we don't really know what happened to her, right? We just, like I said, we hear him as like calling her name in his sleep and stuff like that. Candace was cheating on Joe, and then Joe killed the dude that she was cheating on him with.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where I'm getting kind of like, okay. So anyway, so then Beck found out about the girl Candace, so she wants to do her own investigations or whatever.
So let me help you with the rest of Candace. He tried to kill her, basically, like not bury her in the dirt. I think he did try to bury her. He tried to kill her, left her in the wilderness, wherever, but she didn't die.
And this whole time he's thinking that she's dead.
Mm-hmm. And she wasn't. So that's why he would have the nightmares, thinking he had killed the love of his life, and he really hadn't.
Yep. So also at the end of this episode, still going on her Nancy Drew bullshit. Beck discovered a hiding place in the bathroom ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
When she pulled the box down, couple things that are gonna jump out to her. Her old cell phone, because remember she lost it, but he really stole it. As well as Benji's cell phone and Peach's cell phone. And then some other just like random stuff that he kept. And then Joe finds out that she found out, and guess who's going to the plastic cage?
Right. Or the plastic observation tank.
Right, the observation tank. Okay. All right. So we're at the very last episode now. Basically, let's see how I can sum this up. Peach's family hire an investigator to start looking into her death because they don't believe that that's happened. Beck is in this fucking cage. She is writing her heart out, like really getting inspiration.
Again, Joe is doing things to help her.
Thanks to Joe.
Thanks to Joe. Yes.
Oh my god. Literally,
good
we
old
over here paint him as a bad guy, but really isn't he? Okay. Anyways,
isn't he the most supportive boyfriend that you ever want? Like, isn't that what we all want?
Ever. You literally can't get a nigga to kill for you no more. Like, I don't.
You can't get him to barely drop his other chicks, let alone. Let me not make it seem like, oh man, I don't need y'all hopping on my neck. But, anyways, go ahead, Khris. You got it.
So anyway, okay. So while she's in there, she's just like trying to think of stuff because now she knows all this stuff that Joe's done. And there's even a part, I think, in the episode where Joe breaks down. He's like, all right, look, bitch, I did this. But the reason I did it, and like, she didn't want to hear him. And I was like, listen, like when you really bust down what he said, bitch, it was all for you. Like, and I need you to like recognize that's why chivalry's dead, because bitches don't even appreciate shit. Anyway, so all right. So she suggests, hey, I know all this shit happened, but why don't we just blame our therapist for the shit, right? And he's just like, okay. So and so she's like, there's like moments where like she's like kind of like playing along, and then she kind of loses it, and she's like freaking out on him and shit like that. And he's just like, bitch, I did it all for you. I don't understand. I want to be with you, but I can't be with you if you just like not gonna like understand why I did the shit that I did.
Right.
Let's see. She somehow lures him inside, and she locks him in there, right?
Because she pretends like she's going to go along with it.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't remember if it's she got his keys or she just lured him in there, and then
All right. So basically, of course, Joe, he fucking escapes it and he kills Beck. Okay. Now, at the very, very end, we fast forward like 4 months later. Joe used, like Beck suggested, used Beck's writing to frame Dr. Nikki or the therapist for everything that happened in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it. I mean, like she's like that's it, right? Like her, even like in after her death, like Beck's book was like booming and off the shelves.
And then it's at the very absolute end that we find out that Candace is still alive. Yep.
Candace walks in and we find out that she's not dead. And that is season 1. I hope I did a good job. I feel like
you did a great job. I mean,
but
y'all go watch it. It's definitely worth y'all seeing. And before we get into me doing the recap of season 2, we're actually going to take a quick break real quick. So we'll be right back. And we're back. Yes. So you guys heard Youuuu season 1. Khris did a very thorough job. I feel like now I got to step my game up. No, but I had to actually look up articles to like get the details again, just because I was not about to rewatch it.
I literally didn't have time for that.
Me neither. It's been a crazy busy week, and just in general, I have a lot going on. So, definitely should watch it though if you are very much into just relationship dynamics, thrillers, suspense, you know what I'm saying?
Psychological thrillers.
Yes, very much you should watch it, which is why I love it, which is why y'all that listen regularly shouldn't be surprised that I'm really gonna break this show down more than I do the others, because in every breakdown I do, I always talk about relational dynamics and stuff like that. So, Youuuu season 2. Our guy Joe, well, maybe we should actually be calling him Will in season 2, because he done killed Beck, Candace. Bruh. You know, I be putting my phone on Do Not Disturb, but my kids can bypass, so, you know... it just be like that. I'll have to tell her I will call y'all back. And let me go ahead and get this from my mom, who's texting me. Yes. Okay. So, Youuuu season 2. Our guy Will is trying to basically escape his past. He is actually trying to become a better person. He does not want to kill anymore. Killing Beck, really, having killed Beck, and even though he didn't technically kill Candace, but he thought he did, but having killed Beck, it just starts to show him who he is, and he doesn't want to be that person at all, and he doesn't even want to be Joe anymore, and he doesn't want to live in the same city anymore, so he moves all the way across the country to LA, because what else are you gonna do after you kill your girlfriend and all these other people but go move to the other side of the country? So he
even said that he wanted to move somewhere where people thought he would hate it.
Yes,
which is LA.
Yes. So he moves to LA. He gets this new identity that I'm pretty sure he bought on the internet from some random dude, because where else are you going to buy a new identity but the internet? Right. And so he goes to what was a Navrin? It was like they sold food, but they had a bakery, but it was like a grocery store, and I think it had books too. So it was like Target basically, but but make it Cali, you know what I'm saying? So Cali Target, a Navrin, is where he goes to get a job. He meets 40 Quinn, and he meets his neighbors. So let's talk about his neighbors real quick. I'm not gonna do episode by episode like she did. I'm just gonna do overall, like a general overview, but it's going to be more detailed than what I've done in previous things, so you'll still get a great idea of the series. Each of them have 10 episodes on Netflix. You definitely should watch it. But he meets 40 Quinn. But before we get there, let's talk about his neighbors. So there is Delilah, who is the older sister. She's also a journalist. And then there is Ellie, her younger high school sister, who it's almost like she's raising herself, even though she lives with an adult, because Delilah is always out there chasing the story so she could really make it in her career, and she neglects Ellie a lot. And so Joe and Ellie actually become cool, but not like on no weird stuff, because Joe is not like that. I mean, he actually protects her later, which we'll get into that. But Joe and Ellie become cool, and so keep Ellie as somebody important that you want to remember. We'll come back to her. So he goes to Navarin, he gets a job, he meets 40, and then 40 Quinn. And then Joe, you know what I'm saying? You can move to a new city, but you are you wherever you go. So if you don't actually deal with your issues, you're still going to be a murderer, Joe. You're still going to be obsessive. And then we meet Love Quinn, which is 40's sister. So their parents really named them.
Twin sister.
Yes. Parents really named them Love and 40 because probably their parents probably got drunk off of 40 and made love to conceive these children, because I don't know why you would name your child that. But he meets Love.
Is it like can't you score 40 in tennis? Is it tennis references?
Don't let me get to line. I don't know about tennis like that.
I
it sounds like some rich people stuff though. So that makes sense. All right. So Love becomes his new obsession, and she's young. I don't know if they're the same age, but she's a widow and she's a baker, and she works at a Navarin. And as Khris said, 40 is her twin brother. And so their relationship is super codependent. Like but we find out, we'll get there. So they meet. Joe starts doing his thing, his stalker, obsessive. I got to find out everything about you out. You know what I'm saying? That's why the show is called You, because it's always, I want you. You know what I'm saying? And so Joe actually gets Love because Love is into him too, and she starts leaving him little treats in his locker and all that good stuff. And so they start dating, and Joe is in love with Love, and everything seems all great. So let's go back to Ellie real quick, which is just totally not in order, but there's just things you need to know. So Ellie wants to be like, she wants to do something with film or something like that. And she gets connected with this pedophile ass comedian who is supposed to be helping her with her career, because that's how they like to lure you in, some of these predators in the industry, where they say, oh, let me help you with your career, but really they're trying to help you into their bed. You know what I'm saying? So she goes over there. He drugs her because that's what he does to young girls, young underage girls. And he's like easily got to be 40 something. So it's just super gross. And he's not even like an attractive older man. He looks greasy and slimy and gross, which is probably why he has to drug younger girls, because like nobody his age clearly wants him. But I know it's deeper than that why they do this. But
yeah,
Joe finds out. So thank God that him and Ellie have developed this friendship, because Joe actually basically kills this predator for what he tried to do. But then because he's a celebrity, so this is only the one person that he has killed at this point so far. And it's for a good reason. As always with Joe, it's always because he's trying to protect someone he cares about, and him and Ellie have developed this friendship. So he kills this comedian, but because he's a pretty famous comedian, Then it becomes a homicide investigation, and you have
Mhm.
detectives involved. You have detectives working with Delilah, an investigative journalist, to try to figure out who killed this comedian. Okay.
Mhm.
So then, somewhere in the season, Candace comes back because, of course, she wasn't gonna let Joe just get away with
Trying to
traipsing
kill
off.
her.
Yeah, trying to kill her and then traipsing off to LA to become Will and start this whole new life with his new girlfriend, Love. But not only does Candace come back, you know what I'm saying? Candace comes back and Candace starts dating and gets her a little boo thing. And who do you think her new boo thing is? If you guessed 40 Quinn, Love Quinn's twin brother, you are smarter than a fifth grader. Yes, yes, sound effects. So, Candace, you know the saying, keep your enemies close. You know what I'm saying? So Candace is trying to stay around so that she can basically expose Joe. Okay. So they're going on weekend getaways, and then you start seeing the dynamics of how toxic the Quinn family is. Even they're like super rich, but like they're just toxic. Their parents are just, I'm not going to say they're trash, but kind of. And then in the midst of this, we start learning about Joe's past, and we start learning kind of how Joe became the way that he is. And we find out that Joe's dad, when Joe was a young boy, used to beat his mom, and he used to have to watch this. And finally, he got fed up and wanted to protect his mom, as boys generally do, because it's the coming of age, you know, they're going to be men, and men are protectors. So, wanting to protect his mom, and he kills his dad. And then his mom is like, well, why did you do that? We have to get you out of here because the people are going to come for you. And then his mom puts him in a, not a, like an orphanage, and just leaves him, and she's just gone. She just goes off and gets a new life. And like the way she does it is so grimy, like, because she made it seem like she was coming back, and then she never did. So then not only is that why we see Joe got this, oh, I gotta kill to protect, but then we also see where he has these fear of abandonment issues because he was actually abandoned. And this is why he gets obsessive, because he's trying to hold on
to it.
Yes, and be the perfect boyfriend or whatever, and make the perfect scenario so that he doesn't have to lose the object of his obsession, because it wasn't perfect, and that's why he had to lose his mom. So,
yeah, exactly.
Then we keep going, and we see that Joe starts noticing some things about Love. You know what I'm saying? Joe and Love are they're pretty similar. You know what I'm saying? They're pretty equal in how they get down.
You could say that again.
And as the police are closing in on trying to figure out who killed the comedian, because he's famous, so they care about when famous people get killed, Delilah, Ellie's sister, Joe's neighbor, who is trying to figure out things because they're starting to know that Joe, who has been going by Will this whole time, is not exactly who he seems. And Love finds out, and Love is like, "Oh no, boo boo, you're not finna ruin my chance at love with my man and mess up his freedom and what he got going on." So Love kills Delilah. And that is when we find out how much Joe and Love are the same. You know what I'm saying? So, moving on, Candace gets killed by Love for the very same reason, because she was trying to expose Joe, and Love just loved, just like the same way Joe loved Beck, no matter what. Didn't care if she slept with other people or whatever. He just loved her. That's the same affection that Love had for Joe. So Joe finally got what he wanted from Love, but an interesting plot twist we're going to get into in a second. So Love kills Candace. Now, for a little while, Joe thought he killed Delilah, but then he found out Love killed Delilah, and he found out Love killed Candace. And then that's when we found out that niggas cannot keep that same energy, and they cannot handle what they put out there. You know what I'm saying? Because Joe
I didn't know we were doing this.
Oh yes, we are absolutely doing this. Because Joe expected Beck to just love him because he did all that for her. Yet, when Love, because Love ends up in the cage, when Love showed Joe who she really was, which let's pause for a second and discuss. Sure. They was killing folks and all that, and I was cool with that because I knew what it was. They understood the assignment. But when they was up in the bed talking about "I wolf you," that was just so disgusting to me. Like, what are we doing right now? This is
I understand what you're saying.
Yes, it was like they were so mushy, so gross, whatever. But let's get back. Love just wanted to be loved by Joe in the same way that Joe wanted to be loved and accepted by Beck. However, Joe said, "I can't do that," and was actually about to kill her, just like Beck was about to kill him. So this is where niggas cannot handle what they put out there, because he was not having it and just thinks she's this psycho. And the only thing...
But like the way that he reacted to it was out of control for me. Yeah. It's like, bruh, like we just like you be talking to yourself about how crazy you are. Like, so like how like and you know what they say about like you attract what you are, like you attract similar people. Like your craziness brought her craziness to you. Like it's crazy.
But as he's about to stab her in the neck with some sort of sharp, hooky looking object, Love reveals that she's pregnant. So Joe cannot kill his baby mama because that would kill his child. So Joe doesn't kill Love. And then he's going to try to make it work with her. However, at this point, 40 has figured out some things about Joe and is like, "Oh, nah, bruh, you not finna be with my sister. Like, you really got me messed up. You got my family messed up. You got to get up out of here." And Love is like, "No, this is my man. We gonna be together because you know how we get when we're females and we down for who whatever. Because we can actually keep that same energy and we can accept what we put out there, though men cannot." I just want to make that point one more time. So we're coming to the end. There's the detective who is on Joe's tail. He's trying to figure out what's going on. Nothing makes sense to him. We have 40 actually about to shoot Joe. The detective is not having it. R.I.P. 40. He made it to the end of the season.
He did.
And the detective killed him because he was about to kill Joe. Joe thought he was about to escape all of this, and then he looked at how devastated Love was when her twin brother had been killed, and he's like, "Oh God, she's gonna need me." And he
did that so perfect
because that's what he said. That's what he said.
Yeah, and the way that Joe be talking to y'all though, like just
he really do. He really, and they have him narrate himself. Yes. So it's not like, so it's wild. It's really
and you're getting like all his like inner thoughts and it's very interesting.
And so
it gives you like Dexter vibes, but like without being in that line of business, you know? Like.
Right. So Joe knows that Love is gonna need him now because she has no one else. They decide to be a family and they move to, let me get this name right, Madre Linda, which is a suburb of San Francisco. And I'm like, oh, okay. Joe done got love. They're going to have a baby. They're going to make it work. But as always, Joe is Joe. And season 2 ends with Joe doing his thing as he normally does. Somebody catches his attention through a crack in a wooden fence. Minding her business, journaling with her son's hat on by the pool. And he says, hello, you. And that's the end of season 2. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at season 3. My gosh. I don't even know how I want to start this. This is so interesting. I guess I'll start with the characters, because it's always interesting how there's new characters. Well, Joe is the constant, of course, because it's about him. There's rarely any carryover. Like there was, like Candace was there for a little bit, but really she came in season 1 at the end. So nobody from season 1 came to season 2. Generally, no one from, I didn't think anyone. Well, of course, Love came from season 2. Dottie, her mom, is in season 2. Then we have Henry, such a cute little baby, in season 3.
AKA
we have
40.
we have Natalie, who is the neighbor, the object of Joe's obsession, is in season 3. And then we have Sherry, who is this high acidity, rich momfluencer blogger who runs the town. So she's like the mean girl, you know what I mean? And those are the main people that were introduced in episode 1, because we're only going to do season 3 episode 1. Just a reminder, we're only going to do 1 episode at a time, unless we change that, and then I'll explain at the beginning of the next episode why. But the plan as of now is to just do 1 episode at a time, because so much happens in 1 episode. It's crazy. As you can see by our breakdowns of an entire season as quickly as possible, even though we both left out stuff, but we gave you the general synopsis of what Joe and Love were on. You know what I'm saying? So those are the characters. Such an interesting episode. Love had the baby.
It's called And They Live Happily Ever After.
But they don't.
Because why would they?
Right.
So yeah, she had the baby. And remember how Tam said that like he was very judgy about Love, like killing people and shit? I just want you to know that very well spilled over into season 3.
Even more so.
Even he in his like internal dialogue that we get to hear, like we know that to him, Love is not the bitch he's supposed to be with.
Not at all. He's out here still looking for the one while he's married. Oh yeah, they're married now. Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to tell you that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's super feeling detached from that relationship because she's a murderer, which he can't wrap his mind around. And also for the fact that he doesn't think that she's the one. And then you've got Henry, who he doesn't connect to, connect with. One of the main reasons is that when we found out that Love was pregnant, everyone thought it was a girl. And now it's a boy, and Joe already had like this like very like planned out idea that he was gonna how he was gonna be with his daughter. And the whole time that she's pregnant, that's what he's, because he's a psychopath, that's what he's practicing and trying to figure out what mask he's gonna wear when this daughter comes of his. And now it's a son, and he is losing his shit. He doesn't know, for some reason, the things that he was gonna do with his daughter don't work for him having a son for some reason.
And I think there's fear of his son
becoming a psychopath.
Yeah, like him. So, but I don't know.
Really, I was gonna say
mom.
Like,
girl,
she's gonna be like
the mom. Yeah, I don't know. But somehow he thought he had to protect his daughter from his psychopath wife / baby mama, and now that it's a son, I mean, you still got to protect her if you feel like you had to. I don't know. It's weird, but he just is not feeling Henry 40 Goldberg. We got to get that.
Quinn
Oh, yeah,
Goldberg.
Quinn Goldberg.
Henry 40 Quinn Goldberg.
Yes, 40. Because it's 40 reincarnated, apparently, according to Dottie's shaman or whatever he said. Like, some person that spoke over her life that was 40 reincarnated. So yes.
Right.
And then it's an interesting little suburb, like I said, outside of San Francisco. So it's really small. Joe got his hat again because whenever he's on his stalker stuff, he wears his hat. Yes. So Joe got his hat. Be out with his son, stalking Natalie, the neighbor next door. But it's very interesting because we see that Natalie is paying attention and she's kind of like flirting with him, though she's a married woman. And she's kind of like, just, basically flirting with him. And we're not fully sure at first because he's like, are you flirting with me? But I mean, with Joe, somebody could drop a piece of paper. Yeah, somebody could drop a piece of paper and he's like, you wanted me to do this because blah, blah, blah. So
you wanted me to pick up that paper.
Yeah, so, but she actually really is flirting with him. You know what I'm saying? They end up having a drink together. I don't know how she got we do know how she got his number because her husband is in like tech. And so she looks up his number, barely speaks to his wife, which, I mean, she gonna notice that. But calls her husband, calls Joe to have him come over for a drink after she saw Love leave. You know what I'm saying? And she's talking about how basically she's in an unhappy marriage and she's making little comments like, oh, don't you feel that feeling when you're first around somebody and it's like so exciting and all the anticipation and chemistry or whatever? And he's like, and we're hearing his dialogue where he's like, oh yeah, I feel it. You feel it too. You know what I'm saying? So this is like a dream come true for him at first. Cause he's like, oh my gosh, the object of my obsession, she wants me, like, I didn't even have to really work for it. Like, she was on that.
It's basically like the bridge part of jumping, y'all. I ain't worried about my man tonight. Like, I ain't worried about my girl, all right? Like, that's really what's happening.
Yeah. And because of his obsession with her, he found out that the town has a library because that's where she went. So he was very happy. He's taking baby Henry to the library, reading him books, like books that you shouldn't be reading a baby, though. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, right. But,
like, yeah. So then so that's Natalie. We'll stop there with her.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on Sherry?
The first interaction that Love had with Sherry, I thought was hilarious. How she was like telling her like, oh, she's being a good mom, but Henry was hella losing his shit like in public. She's giving me vibes that she's gonna be dead.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
She's giving me she's not making it to season 4 vibes. She just seems fake as fuck, like fake to the point where like I know that at some point in the episode, one of them, Love or Joe, is going to probably Love. It's probably going to be Love. Is going to find some very incriminating shit because Sherry, her name's Sherry Conrad. She's like the local like main bitch basically, like and she's also like a mommy blogger. So like she feels like mommy's better than everybody, and then that she is better than everybody. And I'm sure that is not going to rub Love the right way for too much longer.
Because she's already over it. She already said she's lucky I didn't stab her in the eye after the first day meeting her. So there's that.
Yes.
And she's very condescending too. Like kind of like Khris said, she thinks she knows it all. but she also thinks no one else knows anything if she doesn't tell them. And like,
exactly,
me personally, forget the show, I can't stand people like that. Like, I know a lot, but I don't feel like I need to be out here proving what I know for the sake of proving it unless someone asks me. So like, I can't stand people like that. So and she's a black girl married to a white dude. Nothing wrong with that, but they always have, what I do appreciate is they do try to have diversity within the cast or whatever, every episode. But yeah, she's I can't stand her, like, at all. There's nothing about her that I like.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I can't stand her yet. I mean, on the first episode, but I definitely see how niggas that are actually interacting with her are going to get very over it. They're like she's gonna be dead. Like, I'm honestly gonna take if you want to put a wager in, I'm gonna say by episode 5, she'll have already been buried and gone. Like,
y'all heard it here first. You know what I'm saying?
But we'll see. I mean,
record.
I'm sure somebody's already like binged them, but we haven't. So
yeah,
that's what I'm banking on.
Yeah, if you tweet at us when you listen to this, we are only, as you're hearing them, that's how we're watching them. So no spoilers, please. Yes, I haven't seen any. People have actually been really good, and I haven't seen any. I know that it ends crazy because somebody, the way that ended, but it's not like, I don't know. I haven't seen any, but yeah, I can't stand her. I also think that the friendships that she has, so we're not even talking about Joe and Love, just as fake as she is, her friendships are not fake because they're just intimidated by her. Because Love and Natalie have a conversation. Now, this is after Natalie tried to sleep with Joe, and good old Joe is like, nope, I got to be a good father. I got to be a good husband. Like, I can't do this, which was a really good moment for him because he basically was getting what he wants. But then Natalie's fake because then she's all up in Quinn's face trying to be her friend and trying to offer her advice. And basically what she told her is that in this town, this is when we find out that Sherry runs the town. And if you get on her bad side, you basically will have no one because no one's going to stand up against her. So she's like, if you want to have friends here, you either got to get her to like you or you got to do like I did. And you have to get her to respect you so that she at least, like, she's intimidated by authenticity because who knows what's really going on in her marriage, and we may or may not find out. But people like that who try to be condescending towards other people and try to put other people down and try to make it seem like they're better than people, they usually have tons of insecurities. Like, I don't care if she's this mommy blogger influencer or whatever. She probably don't even believe that about herself, probably don't believe in herself, because if you really believe in yourself and what you're doing, you're going to want to uplift people and encourage them and be like maybe an example that they can do it too, and maybe put them on game. You ain't going to be out here trying to tear everybody down and doing all this fake shit, inviting Love to this party and then talking about her and her family.
Like low key kind of loud.
Yeah, because you think she's wherever you think she's at. Or maybe you knew she was there and you wanted her to hear that. Nevertheless, I can't stand her. Their mom, Dottie, her and Love never had the greatest relationship anyway.
She hella likes her brother more than her.
Yeah, and so I'm pretty sure Love is gonna get tired of her being around so much because she moved 30 minutes away from them so that she could be close to 40, as she calls baby Henry. She doesn't call him Henry. She calls him 40. And so she, comes around. She wants to take pictures, but it's like it just all seems fake. You know what I mean? It doesn't
it's literally just for the gram.
Yeah, like it just doesn't seem real. And then that's the thing too, is they haven't really got to process 40's death. Like, your brother was murdered, your son was murdered, you're pregnant, you have a baby, so she's going through postpartum issues. She's trying to figure out how to be a new mom. Parenthood is hard. Like, I don't remember the start of how it was with all of my children as far as like when they came home from the hospital. I remember delivery, but my son, I remember everything about when he first came home. I remember his dad and I, like, first of all, I'm listening to the doctors and I'm only giving him whatever amount of food at first, and he's crying like every hour. And I'm like, oh my gosh, and it's the middle of the night and we're trying to sleep. And then we're kind of like, not arguing, but just we're both tired, not wanting to get up. No, you get up. No, you get up. And finally, his my son's dad's mom was like, give him some more food, he's probably hungry. She was like, you can't always listen to everything the doctors say about certain stuff, because you kind of got to figure it out for yourself. So then once I started giving him some more milk, well, formula, then he would sleep longer. And I was like, oh, okay. And so you have all that. You have, she's trying to get her body back together, because having a baby does a lot of wear and tear on your body. She said she got winded trying to go up and down the steps. So she has all that. On top of that, they moved to a new city because of the school district. So you ain't got no friend. Just so much change happening at the same time. And then she is very intuitive, just like Joe is. I don't know why he be acting like he don't know who he married, because she knows he's not in it. She tells him, because baby Henry always cries when Joe is trying to hold him, because he knows the vibes that Joe's heart ain't in it. And that's what she tells him. Like, babies can tell when your heart's not in it. And so she'll like say things like, why don't you talk to me? Why aren't you letting me in? Because she's not dumb. And he'll try to like, oh no, it's not even like that. Why do y'all do that, man? Like, we be knowing what is I'm sorry that this has become, it's not a men bashing at all. Y'all know I got nothing but love for y'all, but like, why do y'all do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you just say, I don't want to talk about it, I would respect that so much more than you trying to act like it's like nothing's going on, when you know, like Joe knows something's going on, because we could hear his internal dialogue.
Right.
And then you try to make love seem like she crazy.
Hate to see it.
Right. So I feel like we've covered the main people. Now let's get back to Natalie.
Okay.
Shall we?
Sure.
Now, when you have someone like Love, who is very perceptive, she reads people. Joe, I love that Joe said, I had a drink with the neighbor. She's right. She's crazy, because Love couldn't understand why she would try to be friendly to Natalie, and Natalie just was very standoffish towards her. Well, that's because she wanted your husband. So, I mean, why would she try to be all up in your face? But finally, after Joe is like, nope, this is a mistake, I just want a friend, I guess then, I don't know if Sherry was like trying to befriend Love to get to Joe still, or what her motive was. We'll never know, though. Because poor Natalie, she slipped up.
I mean,
Joe was the good old husband, told the truth that he had a drink. Love and Natalie are having a conversation.
Well, Natalie is showing her space that she can like have a restaurant or something, right?
Well, before that, when they're at the party, how they
yes.
So Love and Natalie are having a conversation, and this is when, as I said earlier, Natalie is trying to basically put her on game to how to navigate in this new town that they're in. And she says something like, yeah, Love is saying like, I can't believe we never talked before. And she's like, yeah. And she's like, well, I know Joe has seen more of you, because she knows they had a drink, which it wasn't innocent, but it could have been innocent. So Love is not thinking anything of it. And Natalie's like, well, no, not really. So you can already tell where she's trying to like cover her tracks, and where she messes up is she's saying, yeah, I've been trying to tell my husband we should have y'all over since neither of you have been over. You see the light bulb moment in Love's eyes, her face, because she knows that's not true. She knows her husband was over there the other day because Joe told her.
Right.
And that's where you messed up, Natalie, because and the way they did this, the last scene, we're coming to the end of the episode. I feel like we've covered everything else in the episode. The way they did this last scene was so insane, because we did not so then before we get there, Love and Joe are walking home, and she's like going off on Joe because she's like, you wouldn't know whatever because you're too busy fucking the neighbor, because she knows there's no reason that a chick is gonna lie about her husband being over there unless they messed around and they're trying to cover tracks, and you not knowing that he already told her that he was over there. So they're going back and forth about it like that. Then they have this moment where they're just kind of talking about their fears, their whatever, and they're kind of like bonding again.
Yeah.
And she's like
he found the spark that made him think that she was the one at first, I think.
And he's telling her she's a good mom and all that stuff. And so then she's like, well, why don't you try reading like you can still bond with Henry, and they're just like having a married couples discussion. Like, yes, they're arguing, but Joe is actually committed to try to make it work with Love because he wants to be a good husband and a good father. And then you see more with his childhood, where when he was in the orphanage or whatever it was, he would get beat up by the other kids because his mom said she was coming back, and that's what he believed. And he would say, well, my mom is coming back, and nobody else's mom was coming back. So then they're chasing him around. So we get to see a little bit more of like what his childhood was that made him who he is now. So then he's like, okay, I'm gonna give it a try, and he takes Henry to the library again. And he's reading a children's book to him. Thank God. You can see Henry's like, okay, finally this nigga understands that I need to see some pictures. I don't need to look at all them words. And you can see him engaging.
Yes.
And like, I thought he was about to say dad, but he's like talking to him. And Henry's talking baby talk to him, and they're having this moment. And then he's like smiling and laughing at him. And Joe's like, oh my gosh, you don't hate me. Because he thought that Henry knew like, oh, well, I know my dad is a psycho. I mean, your mama is too, probably actually worse than your dad. But I know my dad's a psycho, so I don't want nothing to do with him. When really it's he could feel the vibes that you didn't really want anything to do with him because he wasn't a girl. So then now that you're being like paying attention and trying and reading a children's book and like whatever, they're having this moment, and Joe is all happy. Like you can see him getting emotional because he's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you don't hate me. And he's like,
this whole time, nigga, I thought we had beef. Like...
yeah. And like they didn't, because Henry's what, like 6 months supposed to be at this point or something. So. Yeah, he's like not a newborn. It's not like they just had the baby. Like he's like 6 months, maybe even older. But in the meanwhile, while Joe's with Henry, good old Love, boy. Love. So I'm gonna tell it to y'all in the order that we saw it.
Okay.
Love calls Natalie. No, Love goes down in the basement and gets her mixer. And she's like, you know what? I want to start a bakery. She wants to get back to being the chef that she is because she feels like she doesn't know who she is anymore because she's a stay-at-home mom. She's rich, so she doesn't have to work, but baking brought her joy, and so she wants to start a bakery. And so Natalie's a realtor. Natalie said, hey, there's a space that I know that would be perfect for you, and I'm going to show it to you whenever you're ready. So Love calls Natalie after she gets the mixer, and she's like, hey, I want to see that space. And I'm like, oh, shoot. Love about to start a bakery. Okay, this is good. Because the whole time I'm watching this episode, I'm like, it's a different type of episode because it's not Joe. Like, yeah, there's the obsession that is part of who Joe is, but he's a married man with a kid trying to make a family work. And so it's like a completely different dynamic, but I'm knowing, okay, when is somebody going to get killed? Because like, this is what y'all do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then, Love is like, okay, I want to start this bakery. So I'm happy for her because I'm like, okay, she's figuring it out. Maybe she might have had some postpartum depression and maybe she's coming out of it is like what I thought was going on. And so she gets to the space and she's like, oh, this is great. There was already like equipment there set up for her to like, display her treats and all that stuff that she's gonna make. So she just seems really excited. She asked to see the basement. Thought nothing of it because I would want to see all aspects of somewhere that I'm gonna rent to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Natalie told her, like, and this is what they say. There's another offer in. So, they want to create a sense of urgency. So they're like, there's another offer in, but the owner likes me. So if you sign a 3-year lease today, you're good.
Right.
Pretty sure don't nobody else want that because the previous baker was not successful because her stuff wasn't good. Love's like, I ain't even tripping out.
Right. That I'm not worried about.
You better ask about me because I'm about that bacon. You know what I'm saying?
My treats were taming a psychopath.
Yes.
All season 2. So
exactly.
I'm not worried about if y'all like my shit or not.
Right. Because I know I'm about that. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I'm not worried about that. She's like, all right, cool. They go to the basement. And I'm noticing Love as she's walking behind Natalie. She doesn't look quite as happy as she was looking upstairs.
She's not super concerned with the real estate process.
No, she's telling her different things about the rooms and all that. And you can tell that Love just really doesn't care what is going on. And she looks like how she looks when she's about to kill somebody. Like she has that focus. I'm just planning my move. I'm about to kill you. And we see her look at an axe. And then we get a flashback. Now remember, Love had asked Joe, are you obsessed with her? She said, I don't care if you're sleeping with her, but are you obsessed with her? Because I know
that's gonna put me over the edge if you obsessed with her.
Yes, because that's gonna take you away from me if you're obsessed with her. And she's not having that. We are going to be together. We are going to be a family because now Love is going to be kind of codependent with Joe as she was with 40 because 40's gone. So that's why he said, oh God, she needs me because she needed 40. So then we get a flashback to the mixer scene again where Love is grabbing the mixer, and Joe had said, nope, I'm not obsessed with her at all. I just like that she was flirting with me. Are you trying to control my thoughts and blah, blah, blah. And then Love knocks something down, looks on the floor to grab it, and then she notices that there's a vent that's not properly put back on the I don't even know what it's called. The vent cover is not properly,
like the grate, like the vent grate.
That's what it is. The grate is not properly put on the vent, and she's like, that seems weird. let me investigate, because again, she knows her husband. Let me see what he's hiding behind here. Now, I thought maybe she was going to find letters from Ellie, because Ellie, the young girl from season 2, because Love killed Delilah, her sister. Now, Joe never told her that, but she felt responsible. I mean, he felt responsible for it, and she kind of blamed him. He's told her, here's some money, go start a new life somewhere else so you don't have to go to foster care, because he went through that and it was horrible for him and he didn't want her to go through that. So again, you see the compassion in Joe in different scenarios where it's like he's not all bad. And then she's like, she contacts him when she needs more money, and he sells books online to make money for her, because again, they don't need money because they're rich, but you know, he found a way to still do what he does with books, which he just enjoys. So I actually thought that he was going to find, like, she was going to find that, and I didn't think it was going to be, I don't know. That's not what it was at all, in any way, shape, or form.
Not at all.
It was his obsession box with stuff about Natalie.
Right.
It had something with her name on it, different items.
It was like, literally, guys, it was the coffee sleeve. Like on like the thing.
Oh, is that what that was?
That's the coffee sleeve to her coffee.
I didn't know that's what that was. Yeah. When he was in her house and she said, do you want to see my reading room? They go in there. Her song is on the ground, and good old Swift Joe hurried up and put it up in his pocket.
Right.
So Love sees that. Then we flash back to the scene where they finally had sex again, because apparently since the baby was born, they had never done anything. And we see that Joe had this thong in his hand and sniffed it.
Why?
Because it's like, you don't even know. I mean, but you're obsessed. You don't know what kind of hygiene she got or any of that. If she was just willing to just give it up to you just like that, like, she don't even know you either. But anyways, you see him smell it while he's having sex with Love, his wife, and Love saw that, but we didn't see any of that before. And she just kind of looks at him, and then that's why she asked him when they got in that argument, are you obsessed with her? Because she knows him, and she knows if he has something like that, he's obsessed with someone. So then we see that she's done put all the pieces together before she called Natalie. We just didn't know that, because this is a flashback to what happened before she called Natalie. Good old Love.
Menacing behind this girl. She holding the axe.
Yep. She done
thinking about her thong.
She done
and how she asked this nigga, was he obsessed? And he really just bald-headed lied to her face.
And that's the thing, is that if Joe I don't want to lose my male listeners, because I'm really not like that. But if in general, though, if people would just tell the truth when they're asked things, man, it would have been so much better, because I don't think she would have killed him. If he would have said, I was, but I'm not anymore, or I want to make it work with you, or whatever, that would have been way better. But of course he didn't say that. Why would he say that?
Right, exactly. Why would he say that?
Right. So because he didn't tell the truth, this woman then got chopped in the neck, I think, with an axe. And I knew she was going to die at some point. I didn't think she was going to die. I didn't think the first episode was going to end like that.
Right.
And then she calls Joe, and he's like, hey, babe, we're leaving the library. We're headed home. And she's like, I think we need to go to couples counseling.
As this bitch Natalie is bleeding out on the basement floor of this building that Love want to buy.
Yeah, and then that's how.
Is that the first thing that you think about? Is that she needs to go to couples counseling?
Right, like not. I thought she was gonna say, "I need help.
Right.
Come clean this up with me." No, 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 no. She says, "Dang, if we're doing all this, we need to go to couples counseling because we are going to make this work."
There's no way
Period.
around it. There's no way around
Right,
it. I
like
feel everybody.
literally, Joe has met his match in that just like he wasn't gonna let Beck go and he wasn't gonna let Candace go before that, Love is not gonna let him go. So, and he knows that. So it's like it just is what it is, but he knows that, but he doesn't act like he knows that she knows how he is with the stuff that he does. And so that was episode 1. There
Yep.
was I definitely think Sherry is going to be she not gonna make it to season 4 because I think it's gonna be Joe because I think Joe is gonna get tired of the way that Sherry makes Love feel. And it's gonna trigger because I don't believe that he's gonna go a whole season and not kill anybody for Love. Like I just don't believe that.
I mean, the only way I feel like he wouldn't is if he really didn't love her, but there's something there. Like there's something there that even if he doesn't want to like admit it, like it's something there because you wouldn't have got this far.
Mm-hmm.
Like or is it the fact that she's so crazy that there was no red flags for her and that's how it got so far?
I think it's she's not who he thought she was. I feel like Joe needs to feel like he's protecting someone from something and he needs to feel like this hero because I feel like he wishes he could protect his mom. Like he definitely has mommy issues still, and I feel like we're gonna learn even more in this season because we just learned about all of that last season. We didn't even know that the first season. So I think because he wasn't able to protect his mom and he lost her in his life as a result of that, I feel like he likes to have women because Beck needed to be protective, needed to be saved. He thought Love needed to be protected and needed to be saved, but really Love can hold her own, and she actually wants to protect and save whoever. That's why she was still with 40, or not with him, but like they were so codependent as siblings because he needed her. And so he can't handle that she's not who he thought he was. But then by the time he found out, she was pregnant. So it's like, then he's like, well, I'm not going to leave my baby with her by herself.
Who's gonna do that? That's out.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting though because again, I didn't expect Natalie. I knew she was gonna go. I mean, when he was over there sipping wine with her, I'm like, why are you about to get this girl killed? Like, why you do her like that? She up here buying y'all Pampers, trying to give y'all tips, being understanding about your baby crying all the time and not like being rude about it or whatever. She up there getting you books at the library that you like. And like, why you do her like that? I knew he was gonna get her killed. I just didn't know it was gonna be at the end of the first episode, like literally that quick. And then what does that look like? Because it's a small town and she's a realtor. So how do we explain
that she's gone?
But then again, her husband will care, but I don't think anybody else will care because they really don't like her because they liked her husband's ex-wife that apparently Natalie stole him from, and they don't like Natalie. So the people in the town might not care. Now that makes sense why the librarian was looking really disgusted at her giving Joe that book as he's toting around a baby. She like, okay, she back at it again.
How you gonna act. So
right. She back at it again with her thought stuff. So
right.
So this was episode 1, y'all. Definitely, like I said, if you have not watched, this is not some. I mean, you could come in and just watch it at season 3, but you're not gonna understand. You're not gonna understand the things you need to understand if you just come in at season 3. So I definitely think if you have time, it's only 10 episodes per season, that you just binge season 1, binge season 2. Season 3 is out now. I really hope they have a season 4 because I love him as an actor. I became a fan of him when he was Dan Humphrey in Gossip Girl. Yes, I've
never seen that.
Oh, Khris, I'm actually shocked. I can't believe.
Are you?
Yes.
I mean, like, I know about it, but I've never like watched it.
Man, it's this like
but I love Joe.
You is the older Jade, like Joe is the older jaded Dan Humphrey because he had this obsession with Serena in Gossip Girl and like created this whole alter ego persona that was like called Gossip Girl that would gossip about everybody and nobody knew who she was. And created this person, and everybody's trying to find out who Gossip Girl is and try to stay out of her radar. But he did all of that just to get with Serena. We don't find that out till like the last episode of the last season. Yeah. So the whole season, we have no idea who Gossip Girl is, and I'm trying to.
And the whole time is Joe.
Yeah. Well, his name was Dan, but still. Joe. And then like they get together, they break up, he dates her best friend, they break up, like, and it's just very interesting teenage rich socialites in Manhattan or something like that. So they're just living a life that I did not have that life of as a teenager. And it's not like I lived some innocent life, but it's ridiculous the stuff they could do, but they had all this money. So money brings about privilege and whatever, but it's similar, but without the killing and all of that. So but he's still trying to like protect her. So I've been a fan of his. He's a really good actor. And I highly recommend, especially like you said, or like we said, it's a psycho thriller. And there's suspense. Yeah, people are killed, but it's not super gory. So it's not like you're seeing all the details. You know what I mean? It's not like that.
Yeah, but you also know what the fuck is happening.
It's not like some fade to black and then it's like you get a phone call, so and so is dead. No. You see a little bit of what's going on. Right. But it's not like every moment up close and personal, you watching every little thing, you know what I'm saying? So definitely highly recommend y'all watch that. We will be back next week to recap for sure season 2 season 3 thank you, because clearly I've been struggling since the beginning, so why would I think that any of this was gonna be right? I'm surprised I did the recap the way I did.
You did. I think we did a good job. All around.
Yeah, this was really good. Before we get up out of here, even though Chris's stuff be in my episode notes literally every week, however,
same for you.
Right. However, if you are a new person, you don't know Khris, you don't know all her dope shows and all that she's doing. So I'll go ahead and let her plug herself real quick.
Hello, guys. Couple things. Shenanigans with Friends. I'm the solo podcaster there. You guys can listen to that. There's mad episodes. You will get another episode before the weekend is up. Also, Shenanigans Podcast on Facebook, Shenanigans_podcast on IG, SW Friends Pod on Twitter. If you guys want to follow my personal account on Twitter, feel free.
Mhm.
I warned you. It's _Khris. That's ITS _KHRIS. My other show, All Docked Up. We are going live on Monday with our next one. All Docked Up Pod on IG, and then All Docked Up on Twitter. That's ALLDOCDUP. You can also
Monday
just search that.
the 25th.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
bet. So this is actually going to drop on Monday. So when you
Sweet.
hear this, if you listen to it, my people who listen right away, bam, y'all
We'll
can
be
catch
live that
her.
same night.
Yep.
So you guys can check all the socials I just said for that. And then Saturday.
Yes.
Sabado.
Yes.
Podcast happy hour. I am hosting. It is Halloween. We're coming costume the fuck up. It is on the 30th, which is Saturday. Let's see if I can mess these times up. Is it 5 or 5:30? 5?
5.
5 my time, 7 Tam's time, 8 East Coast time. So 5, 7, 8. Please make sure that you guys tune in. It is going to be just like any other podcast happy hour, except will you know who we are? Will you be able to just will the costumes be so fucking amazing? She's gonna be like, wow, is that Khris or I'm not gonna tell you who. I'm not gonna tell you who though. You thought I was gonna tell you. So anyway, please make sure to tune in for that. Tamara, of course, will be there because she don't have no choice. And all the other girls, Jay, Autumn, and Audrey. So please make sure that you guys tune into that. Please make sure that you guys listen to all my other shows. If you guys are in Vegas or like virtual shit and you guys need a bartender, look up KOD Bartending on IG and Facebook as well.
I've been talking about her drinks up on here too. That Bussin' Blue thing, I ain't had it in a minute. But,
so
yes.
But yeah, so that's it. But I appreciate you, Tam. I'm glad you thought about me because like I really like this show. So I'm glad that I have somebody to like decompress after the episodes with now. So
yes, because not everybody tends to like what I like. Like I like what I like, and it's not that I don't like other things, but I just I like what I like, and I really like stuff that has a lot of psychological stuff in it. So I love this show. So once I found out one that you watch, I'm like, okay, cool.
Absolutely.
We could at least talk about it. But then once I found out they were coming back, I'm like, I want to discuss this show in depth because there's so many unhealthy, toxic behaviors all throughout the show. And it's right on brand with what I talk about all the time about being emotionally healthy, mentally
and setting
healthy.
Boundaries.
Yes. Healthy
shit,
relationships. And the thing about it is, yes, Joe has some trauma. We're getting to learn more about it. But if you don't address your trauma and deal with it, like your trauma is not an excuse to just behave any kind of way and treat people any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And so
it's kind of like how you can't like blame how you act on your zodiac sign in your 40s.
Oh
like,
my God.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that.
It's absolutely like that. Like I can't like, no, you are responsible for your behavior, period. If you have issues, if you have triggers, you are responsible to address them, to do whatever you got to do to where it doesn't affect the relationship. And it may mean you need to cut people off or fall back or whatever you got to do. So I am by no means ever saying be somebody's doormat, to just let somebody mistreat you. But what I am saying is that perhaps if Joe had maybe got to the therapist sooner, before he was grown man psycho obsessive Joe, it might not, or try Jesus even. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, that's a guy that's always available to talk to, and you know how Joe loves the inner monologue. Like,
yes, so it's like he will always be there for you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's super important to be mentally and emotionally healthy. Like, I have really enjoyed as of lately. I start my day by journaling and having quiet time. I've been putting my phone on do not disturb a lot more depending on what I'm doing, just to kind of like because I get so ADD that when my phone goes off, I don't like to have all those notifications. So it's kind of like I have really enjoyed in this season understanding how to best navigate being busy and all these things. Like last week, I had practically back-to-back live shows, small group that's in real person or in-person church, and I just was around a lot of people last week, and I am not an extrovert. I love people. I like to have fun. I like to entertain y'all to a degree, and y'all are going to start seeing that more and more, that I'm kind of getting back to me. I feel like grief really changed me for a while, and now I'm kind of like, I still have grief, I still have sadness, I still have whatever, but I don't know, I'm just kind of getting back to who I was before that. So you guys are going to see a lot more of that. But at that same breath, I was exhausted. By Thursday night after that live, I was so tired. Like I slept in, because I usually try to get up by like 8 right now. I slept in till like 9 something on Friday because I was just so tired. But I still started
early.
It is. But when I have a lot that I need to get done and so much I'm trying to like roll out, I can't be sleeping, you know what I'm saying? Especially because starting my day with my quiet time, that has been super important for me to just journal, pray, read my Bible, and just like start my day with that before I deal with anybody. Like even my kids know I'm in my quiet time, so they'll like respect that. I got heavy back on my Snatch 40s journey last week, so it's like that's important for me to like figure out what works best for me. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I need to log my food. Some people think that's too restrictive. Cool. I'm a person that needs structure to some degree to be successful. You know what I mean? I am doing hip hop abs and turbo fire, and just, which is like kickboxing, and just alternating between those. And whenever you start something, people always want to just give all this unsolicited advice. And it's like, do you just want to feel like you're going to be responsible for my success? Or like somebody told me to do keto. I actually already did that before. Not for me. You know what I mean? It's not something that I want to maintain. I could do it, and I did it for like 2 months, and then I was over it because it's too restrictive on the good things that I like fruits and vegetables. You can't eat a lot of that even. And it's like, nah, I need some flexibility. But back on that heavy, if you follow me on Instagram, you kind of see that. Make sure you're healthy in your relationships. Like holidays are coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. And family functions can be stressful depending on how your family dynamics are. So if you were, some people choose not to go, some people go, but they got to do what they need to do ahead of time to like pre-game. And I don't mean like party pre-game. I mean like mentally prepare to go be around their family. Whatever you got to do though, make sure you're doing your best to be healthy in your relationships, because it's hard out here. You don't know what people are going through. Everybody has struggles. I don't care how green the grass looks on the other side. I promise you they are having issues, insecurities, whatever. So like be kind, you know what I'm saying, and try to work through stuff. That's all I got for y'all. Again, if you're new episodes drop every Thursday, and I generally talk about my life and how I'm trying to grow, but also I do different things. And so, I do what I want to do. Ooh, lit life. Shout out to Autumn. Shout out to Autumn for that. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here, bruh. Thank you
out of here. We're almost out of here.
Right. We are almost, girl. It's like 2021 went so slow, but so fast.
I literally feel like we just did the Christmas podcast happy hour. And like, it's literally, whose turn is it next? Yours?
Maybe.
Oh, because you
Maybe.
got December now. Or no, you don't. Because I just skipped now to November.
So wait, if I'm after you, I think we
So then
start
you're
all over. So
November.
I'm November. That's wild because that's my 2-year anniversary month. So
It
man,
works
this
out. It
is
always
yeah.
works out like that
It
because
always
my 3 year was podcast happy hour.
and my
Yeah.
birthday was when I hosted it. It was
Yeah.
a June extravagant. Oh,
It
that
always
was when
works out.
Audrey. Happy.
Please.
We have so
Please.
many crazy memories and moments on
We really
podcast
do.
happy hour. It is just we don't rehearse, we don't tell each other what we're gonna talk about. If it's something like Halloween or Christmas or something where it's like wear this or we're gonna do this, yeah, but when it comes to anything else, whatever happens
Like the
happens.
actual structure of the show,
Yeah,
like
we never
we
know
have no
that.
clue.
Yeah.
Like
And y'all hear it every month. We don't know how to introduce ourselves. Like we don't, and we've been doing this for over a year. Like,
yeah,
and we don't know what we're doing.
We'd be like, okay, who's gonna start? Like, what's happening here? But it's crazy. If you guys have a chance, though, I would strongly suggest that y'all just go watch some of the old ones. They're so hilarious.
And I have the link to Autumn actually created a YouTube playlist on her channel. So I always have the link to that in my episode notes. Everything that's like podcast happy hour related, my social media, my website. If you are looking for standard operating procedure writing for your small business, connect with me on my website, fill out the form, and I'll call you back. You don't have to live in Omaha, Nebraska. We can do everything virtually. I'm going to be launching a business essentials workshop pretty soon. So that's what I'm working on, finishing up the curriculum for that right now. That will also be available virtually, as well as if you live in Omaha, that there will be in-person workshops available as well. So if you have any interest in that, or if you just want free game and weekly wisdom on how to make sure you have a solid foundation for your business or creative endeavors, then you should follow my business page on IG, because I go, oh my gosh, I was doing so good at talking.
It's okay.
I post content there every day, free tips. I do a weekly free game video. I do a weekly Wednesday wisdom video. And so I'm just really trying to put knowledge out there for free, but I'm also going to be offering coaching in the future as well for content creator efficiencies and stuff like that, but then also for just goal setting and whatever, because these are all the things that I did in my career, for over a decade in the social work field. So it's not
talk
something.
Talk your shit.
Yeah, right. See, this is when I do that, when it's relevant. Otherwise, there's no point in me just, you know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you guys that because I talk this because I actually know it. Like, I talk about healthy boundaries, etc. One, because of my experience in life and whatever, but also I have a degree in psychology. So like, I know what I'm talking about when I talk. Otherwise, I'm gonna say I don't know because I don't know. I don't have to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to know everything. But yeah, if you definitely just want some encouragement, some free game, it's very applicable. As a content creator, I factor that in anything I want to do, because no matter what you're trying to do, if you want to be able to go years, decades, whatever, you got to have a solid foundation, because otherwise when life happens, you're going to stop or you're going to put a halt on it or whatever, which is how I was able to go 100 weeks straight with podcasting. Just dropped my 100th episode last week as well. So there's like a lot of reasons.
She's basically the part of this. This is the part of the episode where she just shit on you and tell you all the things she's doing. You better talk your shit, bitch.
But I'm just telling y'all this just because when you see me saying I'm starting this consulting agency, I do have experience. Like, when you've done something for over 10 years, you actually when I did the market research, can consider yourself an expert. So I can say I'm an expert in the things that I'm doing within
All of
my
the shit she just
company.
said.
Yeah, because it's stuff that I've done for over a decade. Content creating too, because though I didn't have a podcast, those that know me pre-podcasting know funny videos, spoken word, talking about my life and being transparent, all these things. I have been doing this forever. This is just who I am, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? I am me everywhere that I go. And y'all that listen and y'all that interact with me offline and even online, you know when somebody's being authentic because you know when somebody's being fake. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling y'all this just because when I have this business, I have a solid foundation for my business. I actually took a course that was a 9-week course so that I could, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can get out here and just start a business. A lot of people do that, but what I've learned is that there's a lot you don't learn or even know, and it's hard, man. Entrepreneurship is not it, like I love it, but it's like it's not easy. You have to really have a mental fortitude to just keep going and faith to just keep going and keep going and keep doing stuff every day to get closer to where you want to be. Like when you see these influencers or these celebrities or whatever, there's no overnight success. 10 years of continuous grinding that nobody saw all that looks like overnight success, but it's not. They've been grinding for however long. When y'all see this brand finally launched that I've been talking about, that the lawyer that we thought we had for the trademarking, I don't know. He
needs to get beat up. Like, what's happening?
He just like, so he had quoted, because y'all know I won a trademarking grant. He quoted a price that was agreed upon. And then when he sent paperwork over for this like engagement letter that I had to sign, just to like, hey, this is what we talked about. Stuff we didn't talk about was in there. Like, but I'm talking about thousands of dollars more. And so when she responded to the email and was like, hey, well, this isn't what we agreed upon. There's a lot of legal jargon in there that just doesn't make sense. I can't afford all that if that's the case. He never responded. And that was before I got sick. Haven't heard from him since.
What?
Yep. So
not you not responding.
That part. So he wasn't local. And so she's like, okay, we're trying to find a local lawyer. Well, as much as I try to reach out to people to see if someone can recommend, I may have found somebody that could recommend, but I haven't yet. But I'm just like, bruh, once this brand launches, though, y'all hear me saying all this, a lot of things could have happened to make me say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't launch it. But it's that, to me, that dope and that important to get out there into the world that I am just going to keep going. I'm just determined that these obstacles don't mean stop. It's just, okay, maybe it's not timing. You know what I'm saying? So that was, thanks for listening to all that, y'all. Cause
basically she's telling you that bitch, you could never, okay? And that when her brand launches, bitch, you never could never, okay? That's what you're saying.
I'm saying you could too, and if you would like some coaching, so I can
go
share
to
my
her
wisdom,
because she knows she's got you covered.
And then if you want just
who
free...
do you think I'm coming to, guys? Like,
and
I need y'all to know, like,
she really did say that too, and it's like, and if you want free game though, follow my business page on Instagram. So if you're already following me on my personal page, it's in my bio. If you're not, then you should. But also the link to my business Instagram and Facebook page is actually on my website as well, which the website is in the link too. So that is all we have for y'all this week. We will be back next week with Youuuu season 3, episode 2. I can only imagine how crazy it's about to be because season 1 just came in just just crazy. Like,
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
this is coming in really hot. Like, we gotta get rid of a body already. So
already, you know what I'm saying? Did not expect that, but more to come on that. We will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition. Another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for Tim.